the ship in Harwich, I made an unfortunate discovery.
This is going to sound dumb as heck, but I completely forgot until this very moment that they do indeed drive on the left side of the road here. The thought did not cross my mind. Oh, roundabouts! Ah! Rewire every single part of my driving psyche right now. God, miles per hour too.
Once I got used to things, the drive into the sunset actually ended up being pleasant. Cold, but pleasant. I spent 3 days in England with friends.
They don't be real in their grills. They don't be real on their glasses. They don't be real with their steel. And they jury made a
Food-wise, I learned Five Guys exists here, which, meh. But I discovered Nando's. Trust me, if you go, try it.
Alright, hello from the MV Bretagne. Behind me is Portsmouth. I'm leaving England today for Saint-Malo, France. It's about an 8-hour ferry ride and an overnight one, which is why you see this gorgeous sunset behind me. England was a great country. I sorely regret spending only 3 days there, but it's expensive. I was a bruiser. I was not expecting that. I think I bought like this hat after conversion, cost like $32, which I would never spend $32 on a hat. Anyway, Saint-Malo is going to be the landing point, and then I'm going to be driving to Nantes. My strong recommendation, if you're ever going to do a ferry ride like this, is to get a cabin. Don't take the lounge seat that they'll give you automatically. Just spend the extra couple pounds and get a cabin. See you tomorrow. Alright, good morning from about, I think, 5 miles off the coast of France. Again, an overnight ferry ride. I have to say, getting a cabin was worth it. I have another ferry ride later on in this trip where there was no cabin option. It's just deck space. Really looking forward to that. So I'm gonna hit the shore here. I'm gonna make about like the hour's drive or so to the city of Nantes. Let's get to it.
It was wonderful to be back on the right side of the road, and the ride was cold, but beautiful. And finally, I was in Nantes.
Alright, so I was really excited to get here. This is the Jules Verne Museum. He's one of my favorite authors, a French author from the city of Nantes. And I had all these ideas of going in there and filming, but I got here and I guess they closed early, so I'll try to show you as much as I can from the outside.
Jules Verne was an author very much in love with adventure. He was born in Nantes and spent his childhood here on the River Loire before achieving literary success fairly early in his career. He went on to write 62 incredible journeys that inspire readers around the world to this day, such as 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea, a character of which, Captain Nemo, is shown here as a statue by Elizabeth Cybele, being admired by young Jules Verne himself.
As it stands right now, I'm set to leave Nantes tomorrow. I've been pretty dedicated on skipping highways, but also skipping toll roads, which France is notorious for. But if I do all that, then that turns this 3.5-hour drive to a 5-hour drive. I'm not trying to do that. I'm trying to cap these trips out at like 4 hours apiece at most. I might just go against my own rules, both of them, and take toll roads and highways tomorrow. We'll see.
The next morning, on the way to Bordeaux, I made a stop in the coastal French city of La Rochelle. I was immediately stunned. The architecture from its long history as a strategic port on the coast is incredibly well preserved, but also food.
Alright, so this is a roasted camembert and chorizo. I've never had camembert on anything other than a baguette, like for breakfast or something. So I'm really excited to try this. Doesn't seem like the healthiest thing, but it does seem like the most delicious thing. That might seriously be the best thing I've ever tasted. Ever.
Afterwards, I got on the road and finished the drive to Bordeaux, a mid-sized city in the southwestern corner of France.
It's the so-named wine capital of the world. But I've also met some really incredible people here. One of my roommates in the hostel is a guy named Graham, who just left his job, cleared up ties back home, and is now on an 800-kilometer walk called Camino. It's a religious pilgrimage, but some people do it for non-religious reasons. And he's leaving for that tomorrow out of San Sebastian in Spain. So best of luck to you, Graham. It was great meeting you.
And before I left Bordeaux, I had to fix a small problem. I'd been using a can of WD-40 as chain lube up to this point, and that's not a good long-term chain lube solution, or like a short-term one at all. So I stopped somewhere.
So a really cool thing just happened. I went to go get that chain lube and I stopped at this place called New Bike Honda. I came in there and I asked for the chain lube and the guy at the desk gave me this Moto chain lube, asked me about my trip and I told him, and then he said, "Monsieur, it's a gift." And this is really good chain lube, so mad respect to this shop. That was a really great thing that just happened. So thank you, New Bike Honda.
And that ended my short time in France. I'll be back in a few weeks, but I'm learning more and more every day that I booked this trip all wrong. I prioritized distance traveled, not time spent at each waypoint. And I think this is a method of traveling that works for some people, but I'm feeling a pang of regret every single time I leave a place. And so I think that I might have done this wrong for myself. And trust me, in Spain, it does not get any better.